Good morning, this is that Wilderness Voice 71 coming back at you with another video. Today, or this morning, we're going to talk about something I've been seeing a lot on TikTok. I don't know if it's just my algorithm, but I keep seeing this. And one in particular I saw the day before yesterday, a lady, a content creator on there that was talking about 1 Samuel 15:3 is what she referenced. How could a merciful, loving God command his people to go unalive a whole group of other people, every man, woman, child, and beast? How's that a loving God? And so the answer to it is going to be a little bit different than what you might hear somewhere else, because, you know, if you're in a Protestant church, they'll go, well, I mean, that's just, we don't know God's ways, and we don't. Our thoughts are not his thoughts, and our ways are not his ways. But I'm going to talk about some things that you probably weren't taught in church. Okay, so to understand this, in this passage, God is commanding Saul to go unalive every one of the Amalekites, to go strike the Amalekites, because what they did when the children of Israel were leaving Egypt, and they came up from arrears and attacked the elderly, the women, the children, the weakest of the group. And that's part of it, but it gets into a little bit else. So we have to understand some things that are going on here. So to do that, we're going to go back to Genesis chapter 6, where the Benani Elohim, the sons of God, came to the daughters of man, took many wives, saw that they were beautiful, and took as many wives as they wanted. And so in that, it also goes on and says, the Nephilim, who were mighty men of renown of old, who were there before the flood, then after. So let's move forward to the parable of the wheat and the tares, which is something that I have gone over before, but I'm going to briefly go over it again. Jesus gave us the parable of the wheat and the tares. And the tares, the weeds, are what's called darnel. They look just like the wheat until harvest. So this gives you a good understanding. So the good master went and prepared a field and sowed good seed. And while his servants were sleeping, the evil one came in and sowed bad seed. The enemy came in and sowed bad seed. And when the servants awoke, when they saw that the were sprouting, they said, "Oh, master, someone sowed in bad seed. What do you want us to do? Go out and pick them all out?" He said, No, lest we destroy some of the wheat. Let them grow till harvest, and then at harvest we will separate them, because with darnel at harvest, you can tell the difference between the weeds and the wheat, because of the fruit that they bear, the type of seed that comes to pass with each one. So they know the difference between them. So in this parable, you have the good master, who is Adonai, who prepares his field, which is the earth, and he sows the seed, the wheat. And who's the wheat? We're the wheat. Who are the servants? Some people argue, well, those are the preachers and the pastors and the evangelists. No. If we go back, if we understand what was going on prior to the flood, that those were the watchers. These were sons of Adonai that were put over us, to watch over us. They were shepherds. And it gets into cosmic geography and all that. It's another video I've done on that. And so then the question then becomes, so if we're the wheat and the servants are the watchers, then who's the evil one, or the enemy that came in, or the enemies that came in? And the wheat, what's the wheat? He didn't say in the parable that the evil one, the enemy, came in and corrupted the seed, the wheat. He said he sowed in the weeds. Understand, he who has ears to hear, let him hear. Because when we go back to 1 Samuel 15:3, the Amalekites, who were descendants of Esau, they were descendants of the Edomites, they also had another group intertwined in them, interbred in them, which was the Anakim. The Anakim, we were a race of giants. They were descendants of the Nephilim. They had angel blood. They were bad seed. They were bad seed. They were not the same. They were corrupted. The problem is, and according to ancient books like the Book of Enoch and certain things, that these offspring, these hybrid beings, were never meant to be. There was no place on heaven or hell. And these disembodied spirits of these beings are the demons. They're not the fallen angels, because they were locked up. They were locked up and put away. Even the scripture affirms this. They were locked and put away. But the descendants of those fallen ones, they are the ones who end up being the demons running the earth. So they run to and fro. This is why when Jesus was in Caesarea Philippi and he cast the legion into the swine, they said, "What do we have to do with you, Jesus, the Son of the Most High?" They knew that he had a special relationship. He was the Monogame Logos. Have you come to do away with us before our time? Because they know they have appointed time. So when we see this, and listen, I'm the first one to admit that my thoughts are not Adonai's thoughts. My ways are not Adonai's ways. I don't know all the mysteries, but I do know this, that every peoples or tribes that Adonai commanded his people to unalive in Canaan had the bloodlines of the Anakim in them. Every one. He did not want the bad seed mixed in with the good seed.